Welcome back, everyone, to another video from Just Past the Ball. It's your boy Ashraf again. And this time, I wanted to discuss something that I think is obviously quite important to the Premier League title challenge, and that is, are Arsenal and Liverpool proper title challengers and contenders, or are they just pretenders? Um, it does sound laughable sometimes when you say the word pretenders with Arsenal and Liverpool, given that we're currently 1 point behind. Liverpool have won the title before. Arsenal were challenging last season and were, I think, within 5 points from Man City. So you would think that pretenders probably is a bit of an extreme thing, but I am going to dissect both scenarios. And yeah, I think let's start with Arsenal first. So with Arsenal, Um, last season obviously was incredible for all Arsenal fans, at least all the way till March or April, and then naturally in the last month and a half or 2 months, we fell off. Losing a couple of main players obviously affected us. Like we lost Partey a little bit here and there. We lost Saliba towards the end of the season, and we lost Tomiyasu, who would have been a very good backup. Um, and definitely that I think that 100% affected us. You could also see the lack of maturity in some of our players when we couldn't handle the pressure. Like some of the games leading up to that Man City game at the Etihad, are games you would think we would definitely have won, like the West Ham game and the Southampton game at home, and we bottled both. Liverpool, a lot of people want to say that we bottled the Liverpool game. I don't think it's bottling. Like we were not 2-0 up with 15 minutes to go. We were 2-0 up with like in the first half, and then they scored a goal in the end of the first half, and literally they had the whole second half to try and get another goal back in. And not to mention they missed a penalty. Not to mention Liverpool missed a 1-on-1 with Darwin Nunes, and then the double Ramsdale save towards the end. Obviously, we were unlucky as well with that horrible pass from Martinelli that could have had Saka score. But my point is, for me, that game wasn't. I don't know. I wouldn't define it as a bottle. Like I know we were 2-0 up. People say, "Oh, you were 2-0 up, though. You could have kept it." But it's Liverpool at Anfield. Like 2-0 up is not a safe score, especially with like 60, 70 minutes to go, right? Or 60 minutes. I think Jesus's goal came in like 30th minute or so. Um, so obviously, we did really well last season, a lot better than what a lot of people expected us to do, including Arsenal fans. I personally, as an Arsenal fan, didn't have us finishing in the top four because I didn't think we strengthened enough in the summer. I liked the fact that we got Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. I thought these were very good transfers, but I still felt um, that we needed to upgrade on Chaka. I still felt that we needed to get another centre back to compete with Gabriel. But hey, look, both Gabriel and Chaka turned up last season. They exceeded my expectations, and obviously Chaka had an incredible last season with us: 7 goals, 7 assists, and it's not just about the stats, even the defensive work he did and the way he was involved in all the build-up. Um, he was one of the main reasons why we were able to build up so well and play such good football. And Gabriel, a lot of people think that over the course of the entire season, he probably was our better centre back. I personally think so too. Like even before Saliba got injured, um, I think Saliba started incredibly strong, but I think up until maybe Feb or March when Saliba got injured, I think Gabriel was edging him then in terms of quality and the way he was defending. But anyways, so given how we played last season, I thought we needed to strengthen in a couple of places this season. Obviously, with Chaka leaving, it was very clear he was going to leave. Um, I thought getting Declan Rice was going to be the replacement for Chaka, which I thought is a massive upgrade. Regardless of how good of a season Chaka had last year, I think whatever Chaka did, Declan Rice can do better. Whether it's the defensive work side of things or even going forward. I think obviously going forward, Chaka has had experience playing as a centre mid before, but I think Declan Rice has the quality to play on the ball and add that threat going forward the way Chaka did last season. The problem is Arteta seemed to have different plans because when we started the season and he was playing Thomas Partey as right back like getting him to invert basically, and then he was playing Kai Havertz as the eight, which a lot of people were saying was going to happen in the summer, but I didn't believe it. I never did. I never once thought he's going to be playing Kai Havertz as the eight because he's never played as an eight before, right? Like at Leverkusen or at Chelsea, he's either played as a 10 or as a striker, a second striker. I've seen him play on the right wing as well. Um, but I've never seen him play as an eight, and he doesn't look like the kind of player who has the qualities to play as an eight, right? Because as an eight, like okay, obviously you need the ability to cover a lot of distance and run back and forth, which he's been doing to be fair this season. But you also need to have the defensive quality, which he doesn't have at all. Um, he's done a lot of tackles that are super rash, and you can tell these are the kind of tackles that someone who's not a defender or who's not a defensive minded player does, right? When they don't know how to tackle, they don't know how to time their tackles, they don't know how to jockey some of their players. Um, so he definitely doesn't have the defensive side of the game. And I think even in terms of like composure, like being able to build from the back, drop deep, get the ball from the center backs, beat the press, and help build our attacks, which is something that's very crucial to the way Arsenal play football. I don't think he adds anything to these factors. Um, so for me, that was a huge question mark in the beginning, and I started thinking like I personally thought that within like the first 9, 10 games, Arteta is not gonna be willing to sacrifice a title challenge just to stick to his principles and to stick to his ego. Um, I thought he would definitely learn from that, and he'll eventually say, "Hey, you know what? I got that wrong. I put my hands up. Kai Havertz has to now be on the bench and just be an attacking substitute option." Um, but he obviously kept playing him here and there. Now, obviously, the fact that Partey has not been available has not helped. Um, but I do wonder, like, even if he was available, how often would he have started with a midfield of Partey, Rice, and Odegaard? I'm not sure he would have done it a lot because when he had that option start of the season, he didn't do it. So it seems like he was trying to go for something different. I think Arsenal's title challenge will depend a lot on what Arteta does with his starting 11, right? Um, I'm not a firm believer of if it's not broken, don't fix it. I think that's how you uh, stagnate and you stop growing. I think you have to always look for improvements, even if you're doing incredibly well. Um, but I think there's a limit to how much you should go, right? I think if you have something that's working really well, what you want to do is you want to improve on it and build on that. You don't want to break it down and start building again from the beginning. That makes no sense. And it looks like that's what Arteta was trying to do. So if he continues to do that throughout the season, I don't see us challenging for the title at all, right? Like I see us maybe being in the title race up until Feb, maybe max March. And by the way, I what I define as a title challenge is just to give a quantitative aspect to this. I would say, let's say game week 35, 36, you're still in the title race. You're still within like 2 or 3 points from whoever's top, with a chance to win it. If you are 8 or 9 points away come game week 34, 35, yeah, like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to consider that to be a title challenge, especially given that that's where we were last season, right? um so yeah, like I think if he continues to be this stubborn and try to force something that's clearly not working, I think come Feb or March max we'll start dropping off and we'll end up being more than like 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 points behind whoever's top, and which I'm assuming will probably be Man City. Um, However, if he fixes up, and I do have some faith in the fact that he might be trying to fix up because you see him playing Jorginho and Declan Rice as the pivot now. Obviously, he's playing Jorginho because there's no Partey. I'm assuming that once Partey is back, he's gonna play him there. And I've said my thoughts on Partey and on Sat's channel. I personally think we should be letting him go in Jan. The fact that he's injured again and he's only gonna be back after Afcon, like I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. Like this is like his fourth or fifth injury or something like that's happened in training, not even in the match, which is crazy. Um, I might be exaggerating that number, but I remember like 3 injuries at least that happened in training. He was fine. He was on the bench the last game, and he was training as well. And then suddenly the next game, he's like, "Oh, actually, he sustained an injury during training." So, for me personally, I'm done with him. If we're trying to challenge for the title, we need to get rid of someone who's unreliable, like Party, who's never fit, um, and get a quality either a 6 or an 8, right? If we get a 6, that's okay because we can play Declan Rice as the 8. If we get a 8, that's okay because we can play Declan Rice as the 6. The point is we have to get another midfielder. I think that should be a priority. So for Arsenal to be in a title challenge till the end, with a chance of winning it. I think we 100% have to get an 8. Um, I think for us to have a very good chance of winning it as well, we have to get a top quality striker, which I don't see us doing, to be honest. I don't see us going after like an Osimhen this January. He's the only striker I can think of that's of elite quality to come and impact our team instantly. I know a lot of people are talking about Ivan Toney. I would never pay 100 million for Ivan Toney. I think that's mad overpriced for someone of his quality. I think he's decent, but he's not a 100 million striker. I'm sorry. Um, and Arsenal will not do it. I don't see Arsenal spending 100 million on a striker who um like I don't think is world class or elite. I think he's good, but he's definitely not an elite striker. I think Osimhen is an elite striker. I think if Arsenal have the opportunity to spend 100 million and guarantee getting Osimhen, I think they probably do it. If we get Osimhen and a midfielder, then I definitely think that we have a good chance of not only challenging for the title, but maybe potentially even winning it. Um, but yeah, it depends. We'll see what Arteta does. Obviously, um, moving on to Liverpool, I think Liverpool, for whatever reason, have been getting a lot of disrespect before the season started. Um, Not a lot of people had them in the title race, which is mad for me because I think, and obviously this is something that's well known and well established now because everyone is saying it. I think they were always a DM away from challenging, especially after they let go of Fabinho, which I thought was a wrong move, to be honest. I would have, in my opinion, I would have kept Fabinho if I was running Liverpool, for example. I would have kept Fabinho and tried to get a DM like Lavia. Um, that way you have Fabinho as your starting DM, and if the Fabinho's legs are gone and he's not able to play at that level anymore, then Lavia can step up whenever needed. Um, but outside that, I think their team is complete everywhere. They have the best attack in the league in terms of the starting three and the bench options. Their defense is fantastic. I mean, a lot of Liverpool fans wanted Matip and Gomez out last season. Um, and I never I understood Gomez because I never rated Gomez that highly, to be honest. But I never understood Matip. I always thought Matip was a top quality center back. I think some of the form he displayed 2 seasons ago in that quad season was world class level, and someone like that does not suddenly drop off in one season. The guy's not. It's not like he's 35, 36. I think he's what 30 now, maybe. Um, so you don't just drop off instantly that way. And plus, a lot of people have this weird fallacy about football that, oh, if our starting centre backs, let's say with Liverpool, the starting centre back is Van Dijk and Konate. I think a lot of not just Liverpool fans, football fans in general, who want to challenge for the title, have this weird myth, this weird fallacy in their head that, oh, we have to have centre backs who are as good as who are as good as our starting centre backs. It doesn't happen in football. It doesn't happen unless you're Man City, unless you're Man City, right? Because they have been winning everything in the last few years, and Guardiola has mastered the ability to rotate his defenders, rotate his players, and get everyone to play like 25, 30 plus Premier League games a season. No other team is able to pull that off, right? So if you have Van Dijk and Konate as your main starting centre backs, and Van Dijk is obviously world class, I think Konate can get world class very soon. He's definitely of very high quality. Um, you cannot have centre backs who are as good as Van Dijk on the bench. It just won't happen. You could have it for one season, but that's it. Then every year you're gonna have to try and get someone new because no player of that high quality will be willing to sit on the bench for a whole season. Sorry, for two whole seasons. They might persevere for one season, and then after one season they'll say, "Hey, you need to start me now, or I'm gonna leave." Right? And players of that quality will always get teams chasing them. So I thought Matip is an amazing backup option for Van Dijk and Konate. I did think they need to get another center back just to have a fourth option, someone young who could eventually grow and develop and be a good understudy for Van Dijk. Um, Potentially a left-footed center back. I thought if they got Mickey Van de Ven, they would have been immense, right? It would have been Van Dijk and Mickey Van de Ven as their main two center backs, but obviously Tottenham ended up getting him. But yeah, look, I rate him highly. I rate him highly. I think the defense is solid. Um, I've never understood people who criticized Arnold like and said, "Oh, this guy can't defend. This guy can't defend." A lot of the best fullbacks in the world over the last 10 years have not been the best defensively. They've been okay defensively. Like I love Dani Alves. I think he's the greatest fullback of all time. He wasn't world class defensively. Marcelo, I think for like a period of 5 6 years, he was the best left back in the world for like a period of 4 5 6 years, and he wasn't the best defensively. Alfonso Davis, incredible going forward, not the best defensively. People obviously see him running with blinding pace and coming back and doing recovery tackles and winning the ball back. But in one-on-one situations, I've seen him get skinned a couple of times. So he's not like mad solid defensively either. Um, so I always rated Arnold. I always thought that he's a top quality right back. Again, defensively, not Reece James quality, not Kyle Walker quality, but he's decent enough. And going forward, he's one of the best in the world right now. Um, and I thought that's good enough, especially when you have like Van Dijk next to you and or Konate. I think Konate plays at his side. And back then he had Henderson tracking and covering back as well. That's a winning formula. Like that's if what Trent Alexander Arnold was doing was helping Liverpool compete for titles, why would you want to like change that? I don't understand. This is why I also never understood this thing of, oh, move Arnold to midfield. You don't know he's going to do that well in the midfield because I haven't seen him in a lot of situations where he gets the ball under pressure and he's able to like dribble past people and move the ball quickly. I think he's an amazing right back where he's able to run on that right flank and cross the ball in. I don't know if he would be as effective playing as a center mid. I know that's where he used to play before, when he was younger in the academy and stuff. Um, but at this high level, for a Liverpool team that can challenge for the title and challenge for the Champions League, obviously they're not in it this season, but next season when they're back, um, I think playing him as a right back is perfect. Um, Left back Robertson. Again, I still rate him. I'm not a big fan of Tsimikas, his backup, but I think Robertson is a quality left back whenever he's fit. Um, but yeah, look, their main issue is the DM, and if they address that in January, I know they've got Endo. Obviously, he's not that great. I don't. I've watched him in a couple of games this season, and I don't think he's been that impressive. Um, but if they get a quality DM this summer, sorry, this Jan, I think they will go to the wire with Man City, right? If they get a quality DM in Jan and Arsenal don't fix up the way I said they need to fix up at the start of this video, in the first half of this video, um, I think we will fall off and Liverpool will continue all the way there. And Liverpool will be a much bigger threat to Man City than Arsenal. As things stand right now, assuming no new transfers come in January, and assuming Arsenal and Liverpool can keep majority of their starting 11 players fit or all their starting 11 players fit, which is not going to happen. Like that's a utopian dream. Like it's a utopian world. It's never going to happen. But let's just hypothetically say that happens. I think Liverpool will be closer. Sorry, I think Arsenal will be closer to Man City than Liverpool. But if in January Arsenal get an 8 and a striker, and Liverpool get a 6, a quality 6, um, I think both will go till the very end with Man City, but I do think Liverpool might edge us for that second spot, assuming Man City win it. Um, but obviously Liverpool can win it then, and so can Arsenal if we make the right changes. But yeah, look, I really rate this Liverpool team. I think they're amazing. They people have this again another fallacy that oh their team is old. They're not old actually. Like if you look at their starting 11, I think Van Dijk is over 30. I don't know how old Allison is. Actually, let me just check it right now. I'm not sure how old Allison is. Um, Allison Becker age. He's 31. Okay, so he's over 30 as well. Salah is over 30. I already did say Matip, although I don't think Matip is a starting centre back. I think they start Konate and Van Dijk. But assuming they start Matip, okay, Matip is 32. And there was one more who was over 30. I think Robertson, was it? I could be wrong. I think it was Robertson. Oh, Robertson is 29. Okay, he's 29, so he's turning 30 next year. Um, so yeah, their team isn't as old as a lot of people say they are. Um, Again, incredible attack. And here's the funny thing. Yes, the DM is an issue for them, 100%, right? I definitely think they need to get a top quality DM, because I don't think McAllister should be playing there all season. He's been doing a good job because he's a top quality midfielder who can adapt. Um, but I think if they get a top quality DM and play McAllister as the eight and Soboslai as the 10, their midfield is world class. Then, again, depending on who they get as the DM, let's just assume they get a top quality, top class DM. But even without a DM, these guys have the best defense in the league, along with Arsenal so far. 10 goals conceded. So people could say all they want about, oh, they're always going to be exposed defensively, but they've conceded less goals than anyone else bar Arsenal, right? Um, so I think if they get a six, that'll only be enhanced even more. The defense will be even more solid. Um, Obviously, Gomez, as much as I don't rate him, whenever he's been asked to step up this season, I think he's done all right. I don't. I think it's like a purple patch. I don't think he's gonna be able to. If let's say Van Dijk and Konate are injured and they have to start Matip and Gomez rest of the season, I think that'll be a huge problem because Gomez will eventually get exposed for the, I don't want to say average, maybe that's harsh, but for the above average defender that he is. Um, but as long as he's used as a rotational option, I think he could do fine as the fourth center back. Um, but yeah, right now between the two, if I have to predict based on everything that I think will happen, including January transfer windows, I will say I think Liverpool might go closer to City than we do because unfortunately, as much as the Kroenkes have done really well in the last couple of years with the transfers and with the right hires and putting the right people in the right positions, um, I don't know if we will aggressively go for an eight in the transfer window. Not an eight, a midfielder. Again, it could be a six, could be an eight. The striker thing for me, while I think it's important, I don't think it's a must because Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka, I think that's an incredible front three. And if Jesus is not available, I think Trossard should be playing there. And then we don't lose quality that much. Even though I rate Jesus higher than Trossard, but I think Trossard can maintain that level of quality in terms of our build up and our finishing and our attack. But the midfielder, six or an eight, without that, we don't challenge till the end. 100% we don't challenge till the end, especially given that we're playing in the Champions League and the Premier League. So for me personally, I don't think our board will make the right choices in the transfer window. I think they might get a midfielder, but it'll be someone on loan and someone who's not necessarily of that high level of quality. The way we did with Ceballos a couple of years ago. Whereas with Liverpool, because they bid 115 million for or 110 million for Caicedo, um, I think they will go for another DM in Jan. Now you might say, okay, who's available? Fair enough. I can't think of a lot of top quality midfielders that are available. I don't think Real Madrid will let go of Chouameni. Um, but it doesn't have to be Chouameni. It could be they could get Douglas Luiz, right? I think he can play as a DM. I know he's played as a I think he's played as a center mid a lot of games this season, but I think he can play both positions, and I think he would do a very good job as a DM. Um, I know they were going after Decore, I think, of Crystal Palace in the summer. I don't know if they'll want to go after him again. I don't think he's the kind of quality they need. I think Douglas Luiz is a better option. But if they get a decent quality DM in Jan, which I think is quite likely, more likely than Arsenal getting a quality midfielder, I think they will end up um, going all the way till the end. Again, when I say go all the way till the end, I mean they will be in a title race till the end, till game week 37, 38. Can they win it? Yes, but despite all these transfers, if let's say Arsenal do everything they need to do and Liverpool do everything they need to do, I still favor Man City to win the title. I just think they still have um, slight edge over both Arsenal and Liverpool in terms of the experience, in terms of the quality of the starting 11 and quality of some of the bench players, and obviously the coach. I think Pep Guardiola is the greatest manager of all time for me, um, and we know for a fact that these guys can have a 10 to 15 winning streak in the Premier League, right? Like, I'm not so confident that Arsenal or Liverpool would have that. I know Liverpool have done it in the past. I don't know if they can do it again this season. Um, so yeah, I would probably still edge. Man City to win it. But look, there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Arsenal and Liverpool title challenge. Are they um, serious contenders or pretenders? I definitely don't think they're pretenders. I think both of them are serious contenders, but I still think they have to fix certain holes in their squad. Um, if they do it, we're gonna have a very, very exciting title race. This could be the first time since I want to say 2014 when we had a three-horse race. When Mourinho said, "Oh no, it's two horse and one pony." Uh, the fact is, it was a three-horse race that at that moment. Obviously, Chelsea fell off before Liverpool and Man City. Man City and Liverpool went till the very end, but I think we could have a potential three-horse race as well. But yeah, Liverpool and Arsenal need to do their business. So let's see. Cool, guys. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. And see you guys soon.